Hello and happy Christmas Eve. We are doing a Christmas Eve tradition as we speak, and we are in our sleigh, which is a Prius, and we are en route to a winter wonderland otherwise known as Schaumburg, Illinois, and apparently they have a light show on. So what I wanted to do is to show my British audience, and perhaps even some of my American audience, just how wild Christmas lights can be in the Midwest. Now before I do that, let me take you down...
Candy Cane Lane?
What's that?
It's a song, I think.
Just to take a sample of the illuminated houses. When I lived in Britain, you very much got this overwhelming sense that houses adorned in extravagant Christmas lights were very much an American thing. After all, Home Alone was a huge film in England. And you know what? Since it was such an implausible film, as in, how can you leave your child at home on Christmas and forget his entire existence? I think I'd convinced myself that the opulence of the McAllister's house was fabricated for the movies. That not only did somebody have a house that size, but the notion that somebody would deck it out in Christmas lights seemed like a fantasy, and a strange one at that. But through the years, even while I was still living in Britain, we would receive comical videos and pictures of the great lengths that some Americans across the pond will go to illuminate their house. And after moving here at what was the beginning of the holiday seasons, I was quite curious to see whether I would encounter any such houses here in America's Midwest. And I've got to tell you, the McAllister house from Home Alone, which is located in the northern suburbs of Chicago, was in fact barely decked out by comparison to some houses. Now, I should make it clear that not every house in the Midwest, or indeed the United States, partakes in this holiday tradition, but your average street certainly bears more houses than Britain that do. And from my admittedly limited experience, there is at least one house in every town in the Midwest that looks like this. And this is clearly where the owner of the house spent their entire year and fortune decorating their house to the point that you can no longer see their house. And one of the mind-blowing things about these houses is that they're specifically set up for complete strangers to come and visit. Now, when I say visit, I don't mean they can just walk into the house and there's an extra extravaganza inside. Nothing like that, no. What you do is you turn up in your car, you sit outside of the house, and you turn on your radio to a predetermined frequency, and this plays music that moves in time to the flashing of the characters outside of the house. I can't speak for everybody in the United States, but I think that most people in the Midwest have probably encountered a house like this, so let me know in the comments below if you have. And sometimes entire towns will take this idea and then just run with it. And that was the entire premise behind Schaumburg, Illinois' Let It Shine light show. And I just don't think anything could get more American than this, right? It's not just fast food restaurants and pharmacies that have a drive-through. The city of Schaumburg organized a drive-through light festival. You buy a ticket and, along with all of the other cars, you spend about half an hour driving at a very slow pace through a maze of Christmas lights. And just as with that house, it's tuned to FM radio. It's absolutely mental and oddly mesmerizing, and I can only imagine this would have been even more exciting if I'd have brought my niece or my cat. So to say that the Christmas lights in Britain, where, people might hang one or two things, have got nothing on America is an absolute understatement. But all I kept thinking throughout all of this was, what if somebody accidentally pulls the plug? Well, I think that's enough lights for me for one year. We're going to go home now and get some sleep before you know who turns up. My cat, he keeps us awake every night. It's not just Christmas. Once again, a big thank you and a happy Christmas to all of our ponderers. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePondUS, and please, please, please subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't get lost in the pond. A big thank you to my wife for driving. An enormous thank you, the size of that guy's electricity bill, for my patrons who make these videos possible. If you would like to become a patron of Lost in the Pond, you can do so today at patreon.com/lostinthepond. Till the next video, good night.